All right, I believe we are live.
We are live. Welcome, everyone. We have a
Welcome.
special guest today, the JasVynce Show.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us. Happy to be here.
Awesome. They're up and coming YouTubers, so go ahead and give their channel a try.
Please.
I know they'd appreciate it.
Yes, their ad is in their name.
Yep, at the JasVynce Show. So we're going to wait for a few more people to come in the room before we get started.
I'm like really excited to get into this because I've been seeing a whole lot about Chris and being on Clubhouse, and I just want to throw it out there. And
Ooh.
on Clubhouse, please send me an invite. I've been trying to get on there for a few
All right.
months now.
I'll send you an invite.
You're on
We
Clubhouse?
actually were in that room that Chris was in.
He didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything yet. I was like, don't listen to this because people was just talking foolishness. We know Chris is trash. There's no justification.
I don't even think it's really Chris because he'll be in breach of contract. I mean, unless he's got the 100K.
Yeah. The person that was hosting the room stated a few times, like, look, we're not gonna be talking about the show. Even though everybody that came on eventually said something about the show. But that's probably why Chris didn't get a chance to speak, specifically because of that.
I mean, if you got it, you got it. But I don't think you got it. But that's just me.
Before we get into anything, because I know we're still waiting for a few people to get on, do you really believe that it's actually Chris posting on the Facebooks, or is he even on Instagram or something like that? Do you think it's really him, or do you think it's just his picture and someone else is doing it? Maybe it can be.
I didn't even think about
I didn't think about that either.
I didn't think about
Because
that.
he hasn't came out with his face, he's not on YouTube doing interviews like the Ready to Love people. He's not doing that yet.
Ready to Love People is off the chain. That's a whole different topic. I don't. If he is on Facebook, if you're going to go on Facebook and be like, okay, whatever comments to different people, like who's the host of the Couples Camp, Jamie Otis.
Yeah.
If that's really him responding to Jamie Otis, and that's really him responding to other cast members from previous seasons, you're in breach of contract. So you might as well come all the way out and talk whatever you're talking. That's how I see it. Because honestly, I don't think he's going to show up to the reunion unless he has to, because I just want to know what he's going to say.
Of course. He has to come.
Or the tell-all, whatever it's called. I don't know. I just want to know.
It would be nice to see everybody show up and see, how things play out. But this is a very unique season, so we'll see.
I felt like they're dragging him more than they dragged Brandon from the DC season, and he didn't show up to anything. So I doubt he's gonna show up. If he does, I'd be surprised.
You don't think he wants to keep the camera for a little bit longer?
No, I think he's gonna avoid cameras for a while.
Yeah, I was wondering because that DC season, all the cast was pretty much horrible.
Yeah.
And now this season, for right now, it just seems to be Chris. So I'm like, maybe it's because more people are watching it this time around. That's why Chris is being dragged even more. But I don't know. There's just something about Chris
That's part of it
that it just doesn't sit right with my spirit.
I don't think more people are watching. I think if you're already watching, you've been watching. I just think that the drama, the negativity that he's brought since the preview is the reason why we're so focused on this particular season. Because there's been seasons where women weren't so great or men weren't so great in previous seasons, but he is truly the first unique person who's brought so many different issues on so many different levels that this makes it seem like we just watching the reality show of Chris. Honestly, that's just how I look.
On day 3 also, it's day 3. But I think from watching that Clubhouse chat a little bit, like it was most of the people are like, yeah, I never was watching this. Like, I'm like, so you don't know how the show's supposed to go if you've never watched the season before.
It's a hot topic.
You're just watching it because everybody's talking about it. So to me, like, I can't really take your opinion that seriously if you don't know, how it's supposed to go.
Exactly. Hello to everyone in the comments. Also, too, since this season's so unique with Chris, it's making it hard, in my opinion, to even focus on the other couples because our vested interest, well, I'm going to say more than majority. I'll just speak for the majority. Vested interest, what be our channel, through even the host of Married at First Sight, Jamie Otis, and all those other people, are vested in what Chris is doing and what Paige storyline is doing, and everyone else is like on the back burner. I mean, it's cool they're married and all, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's going on? Because there's constant drama, and there's absolutely no way that it's gonna stop as the season progresses. We're always gonna want to know what happened with Chris and Paige, or how they getting along, or whatever. And this baby, what's the rumor that the ex is supposed to be coming on the show? Did she? How she get a contract?
Bring it to.
That's the rumor. Yeah. So like, what if that is not? So here's my thing. If she comes on the show, it's got to be like during what, the Friends and Family week, because you know they have that when they come back from the honeymoon. And all that. So like, whose house is she going to? Theirs. Or is he going to hers? Because either way is shady. That's all I got to say.
That's a mess. Yeah. Production is just zeroing in on the drama, though. I feel like they could have did it differently, where it was like, we know something else is going on with Paige and Chris, but let's focus on the other couples. But I feel like we don't know anything about the other couples, almost nothing.
We don't.
All up front with them, so.
Exactly. Exactly. And also too, it's like, I find it very, I can't think of the right word, but different, that production was trying to persuade Chris to tell Paige. Like, they knew before Paige. And here's the thing with that. So to me, the timeline is off when she got pregnant, because you just find out you missed your first period of 6 weeks. That's number one. So if you was with her in June, someone passed in July, you came on a show in August, that means you was with her before 6 weeks, because she just found out, right?
You got your math?
My math is definitely that. And then the at first I was like, well, maybe they did break up in May, and maybe he did have sex with her in July, and maybe Paige and him got married at the end of August. That could add up to 6 weeks. But the issue here is, I was like, okay, maybe he wasn't in the process. We know Pastor Kyle, they get like 2 weeks notice. Oh, you're going to be married in 2 weeks, right? So that will put her at 4 weeks there. And then I was like, how long is the process? And I was thinking, I'm like, they have to do background checks. They have to do interviews, all this stuff. It can't be a week process.
How long the Pastor Kyle said?
So it's a 2-month process. 6 weeks. Yeah, but here's my thing. You hit the nail on the head, Jasmine. With the processing and the vetting, is at least 2 months. It's at least 8 weeks prior to come on the show.
Right.
So Pastor Cal said on that interview that they also talked to friends and family.
Right.
So that means everybody was in cahoots with getting Chris on the show, because they had just broken up. They just had that engagement party. They just broken up. So so you trying to tell me that everyone who was interviewed didn't tell the truth about Chris to get him eligible for the show?
Or didn't give enough information at some point?
I would not be surprised after seeing how his family like basically defended him.
His immediate family, but again, I always go back to, we met the grandparents first. We met the grandparents first.
The grandparents seemed pretty good.
Right, but the grandmother said,
the
grandmother didn't seem like she was with all that. The grandmother said, "Follow your heart, make sure this is for you." But when we see mom and dad, we're like, "Oh, okay." It
was something up with the parents. It's definitely something up with the parents. We know something's up with the dad.
Enabling, exactly.
We're gonna throw on chatting it up, because I know she has something to say.
Chatting it up.
Chatting it up. Here we go. Hello there.
Hi, how you guys? How you doing?
Hey.
So pretty much, I had put a video out, I guess, talking about the whole Paige situation. At this particular point, I feel like Paige childhood is playing a very major factor in the reason why she's making certain decisions as an adult and with Chris.
Okay.
I don't think that it makes a difference on what Chris brings to her. What she said, what I put in my video, is that her mother was married and has been divorced 3 times. Her father has been married and divorced 2 times. So basically, she has continued to see her parents in this situation of being married and getting divorced. And ultimately, she doesn't want to be that way because what she says to Dr. Pepper is that um, she doesn't want to go through that same cycle as
Well,
her
let me
parents
stop you
have.
right there, Chattingham. Let me stop you right there. I thought that was Virginia's story. Her parents have been married and divorced
No, it was her too.
several times.
It was
So
both
they
of them.
both have similar stories.
Yes, because if you check out my video, I put all the information up, the clips, the audio, the everything. And she said it clearly in there about her parents um, and how they are divorced. And ultimately, I feel like that's the reason why she's holding on to this marriage. She also throws in the thing about God and so forth. And I feel like what she is doing is using that because nobody is going to question God on anything. So I feel like she's using that as a ploy to feel comfortable of making the decisions that she's trying to make.
Mm.
I kind of agree with that. I think she might be going a little too. I'm not going to say you can't throw too much God in there, but God is not about discord.
She's doing her best.
So I don't know about that. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case too, then also, in my opinion, then her reasoning for being on this show aren't the reasons that she should be on the show. I understand that she joined the show because she's looking for the real deal. She wants to be married. She wants that family life, stuff like that. But she also has to remember that this is a reality show.
Correct.
And sometimes people don't have the same vision as you do on a reality show.
Correct.
So that's just my opinion about it.
And I completely agree with that. I think neither Chris nor Paige, they thought what they were going to get into was going to be a certain situation, and it turned out to be completely different than what they thought. Um, and unfortunately, it's playing out on TV. We're all talking about it more than we're talking about all the other couples. It's because it's sad to see this going down.
Right.
Come on.
Yes. Amen, Anika.
That's true. Well, that's good reporting that you did. I'll have to check out your video
Yes.
after this live. Yeah.
So everyone
problem.
check out Chatting It Up's video on the Paige scenario because we need a refresher because clearly it was weeks ago and we're still on the 3 days of all that.
Yeah,
It's so much information with them that we forget and stuff because
exactly.
overload.
Exactly. It's actually it happened in the matchmaking special is where you will see that clip of her saying that of her when Dr. Pepper had visited her at her home is when she said all of that.
Awesome.
I remember that now with the pictures and stuff.
Correct.
Lord, things
I think
happen in a month.
I think I skipped the matchmaking special.
You did.
Being honest, I think I skipped that one because I don't remember that.
So that's all I really have to say about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Thank you for that.
All right.
We'll see you in the
Yeah, I
chat.
always wondered about how the way you grew up affects how you look at the relationship and stuff like that. So we blamed a lot on Chris, obviously, and a certain amount of people blame stuff on Paige as well. But you have to be in a certain type of mind state, I guess, to be able to go through with being with the person and dealing with it like that.
I feel like we know that your childhood makes you either go the same way your parents went or completely opposite. So she's clearly trying to break a generational curse. We get it. But
I don't think
God doesn't want us to suffer and be embarrassed like that.
That's true. God doesn't want us to suffer and be embarrassed like that. But I don't know. I slightly disagree with the how you were raised kind of thing. I think it depends on you as an individual because you come from the best home and turn out completely different. I mean,
that's true.
I mean, I have that. My son and daughter are completely different. They took different paths. She's nice and quiet, all those stuff. And he has my personality where he's outgoing, but he just did things the long way. Let's put it like he gave me a run for my money. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. And vice versa. You can come from a home where everything might not be the best, and you could be a CEO somewhere. So it just depends on how you grow up and see the future for yourself. It's not. I don't think you should blame your family dynamic for that, because you have to want more for yourself. That's just how I see it.
Mm-hmm. I do think people have to take responsibility for themselves as individuals. It's your job to heal your childhood traumas. You know, like you shouldn't put that on somebody else at the end of the day. And I think Shatoni said they need to stick together. If they're going to stick together, they need counseling ASAP. That's true.
Counseling from who?
Well,
I don't know, because
somebody. Where are the experts?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's only been 3 days, so the experts normally don't have all these issues in 3 days.
Somebody called Plastic Love.
That's true. So we're gonna hard stop on that one. That and I'm gonna talk about it on our review coming up this week too. Now, true, the experts don't normally come in on the honeymoon. That's very true.
Yeah.
Since production knows the ins and outs of this, someone should have got on the phone, text whichever expert they wanted to text.
At least.
There is a problem. There is a serious issue.
Mayday.
And whatever. Go to Luxor, hit that light on the Luxor, whatever, downtown, for those of you who don't know.
Flash the Batman light.
Flash the light and let them know there's a serious problem going on right now.
Yeah.
That we need your assistance on, because someone may actually leave the show. This is life-changing.
Yeah.
We don't hear from the experts week 4 next week, which is really a continuation of day 3. I have an issue with that.
Shatani said, or his pastor.
No, the pastor, throw the pastor away too.
No, because you know what? They was looking at her body at the reception there.
Exactly.
Not his pastor, maybe an outside, source who they, like to talk to, whatever, but not their pastor.
Yeah, and you know what? Going back on the pastor,
exactly,
not pastor, the experts, they keep bringing up, we didn't know this was going to happen. We didn't know what his personality was going to be like. And, we can give them that to a point, because at the end of the day, they knew this man was, 1, engaged 3 months ago. 2, engaged another time prior to that. So with all that information, I mean, you have people on the show who were with other people and then still decide to get on the show. Mm-hmm. But don't you see this to be a problem? Because all your couples don't work out. So if all your couples don't work out, you need to probably change what you do. And having someone 3 months ago engaged, that don't sit right with me. And I think maybe Pastor Cal connected with Chris on a certain level, and maybe that's how he got on the show a little bit faster, because he is a pastor. But
that's a good point.
It's not where it's at.
Because I could see him like saying the right things, like, and coming off like a decent person, but then once when you switch over to production, you actually are seeing the real person that you're dealing with. And this is not the first time we saw this. We've been seeing this for several seasons. The person seems so pleasant, but when you see somebody at their worst points, when they're irritated, when they tired of a camera in their face, that's when you're gonna get who they really are.
My whole is that, of course, production looks a little bit, production can edit it to show what they want. But I feel like every single interaction that we've seen from Chris has not been a high quality interaction. And even I think John Guy had mentioned he was throwing out these cheap player lines. And it's like, how did anybody fall for this? And this is all we've seen from him. So again, I don't know what you were saying to make it look like magic, but
no, I still have a problem with this. I mean, there's nothing that's going to convince me, period, for the whole entire season, that's going to change my mind on how I feel about this. Listen, I'm easily amused, but I'm hard to convince. But so here's the thing. We saw in the preview, this was coming up.
Yeah.
Did we not? We saw in the preview, we've known. So how come the experts, this show was pre-filmed before we even see it. Mm-hmm. Where are the experts when she found out they should have been on standby? There's nothing they can say. There's no IG post, Facebook, YouTube, whatever platform they're on to make me even think that they didn't know about this in advance, which they did, because again, we saw it in advance, so did you, to make me believe that you didn't know or is not going to intervene.
You know,
there's nothing they can say to me. I'm mad, y'all. I'm mad. When I get mad, my voice goes up.
Maybe that's not in their job contract.
Well, if it's not, what? I'll push you off your chair, girl. If it's not in their job contract, then why are there experts on the show?
Maybe they come at a certain week.
No. This is important. So if there was something, God forbid, like there was domestic violence, would they be there?
Right.
Oh, no.
They can't pick. To me, they can't pick and choose. But
so my question for this is: everybody, let me know, what would Chris have to do to redeem himself?
What would he?
Mom said nothing. He could do nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
what would he have to do?
Thank you, L.
What would he have to do for me,
Chris?
Let me think about it.
She's not accepting nothing.
It's like, excuse me.
No.
I'm trying to be, open-minded because it is a show, so not 100% negative. But
wait.
Hold on.
So you play an advocate of the devil.
Let me say why. Because when I was trying to be positive during the review, when I said, "Oh, at least he showed up for breakfast," you're like, "That's not positive."
Right.
So what happened in 3 days?
A whirlwind.
A lot can happen in 3 days, clearly.
Go ahead.
But in the beginning, I was giving him a half of a chance. I didn't 100% not like him. I was trying to see through his eyes a little bit. But then he just started to progress and get worse and worse and say the same things over and over. And this was all in a span of 3 days. For him to redeem himself, it would take a long time. It's not going to be the show. It would have to be after the show because now what he's showing us is who he's going to be throughout the rest of the season. And I'm already annoyed and I'm over Chris and his antics. And from what I saw for the previews for next week, it's just going to keep going up further and further. So for right now, it's at a standstill.
You doesn't seem to be showing any real remorse for any of this.
You just wasted.
I had to get
2 minutes of your time you're going to need one day. That was ridiculous. There's nothing that he can say, honestly, in my opinion. I mean, somebody, you guys, or someone in the comment, other YouTubers, commenters, what can he say when we know?
Leave the show.
Everybody agrees.
Get out.
Leave.
At least if he were to come back for the reunion and drop all the beans, then I feel like people would be somewhat satisfied. Even though we're going to wait 8 to 10 weeks, right?
No, I'm still not going to be satisfied because you should have never came on the show. You just didn't qualify. Your heart wasn't ready for the show. Your heart, your mind, if those two aren't together, you're not ready to do anything. And again, the experts knew this was coming.
Yeah,
we knew it was coming. That's why people are tuning in for entertainment. Girl, yes, Ellie. Let's see. That's when they show you who they are. He doesn't have to change who he is. We can just choose identity. Well, we can't help but entertain him because it's the Chris show. Next week he's gonna get into it with Virginia and Eric. The following week or two, we're gonna hear about this baby. When is it not gonna be the Chris show? When are we actually gonna see the other couples and be vested in the couples? Honestly.
Shout out to Brianna and Vincent, keeping us moving along.
Yes, thank you for them.
What do you guys think that could redeem Chris? Do you think he could be redeemed?
Let me give my credit.
In my opinion, he reminds me of no shade to people that live in Atlanta, but in Atlanta there's a large concentration of churches and there's a large concentration of ministers that remind me of Chris, that hop from church to church and hook up, get whatever women they can get from whatever church, and just continue narcissistic behavior. So that's what in my head, that's what he is, and it will be very hard for me to differentiate from that opinion of him.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be the Chris show until is MAFS. What's next? Houston. MAFS Houston is next. And like I said last live, the Ready to Love people, don't even sign up for Ready to Love Houston. You're not ready to love.
Marcus says the experts have to accept the fact that they got played. They're not accepting the fact.
No, they're not. They got played.
That's something I've noticed. I feel like everybody stands behind. It's almost like they're the company, they're the brand, so they have to defend everything that they put together. So it's like, no, we stand by this. We might have made him, some might have come through the cracks.
Yeah.
And it sucks to have to watch them go out like that because I like Dr. Cal, I'm Pastor Cal. I like Dr. Pepper. You feel people like Viviana a little bit, right?
I like Viviana because she be checking people like normally, like that. What was that? Charlotte, when Beth was like, B, I know what I did. She said, did you just call me a B? Like, like Dr. Viviana has time. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, let's roll it back around to Chris. I can see maybe why they wanted him on the show because he gave the I'm an entrepreneur, this and that. He was supposed to be an upstanding role model. He was supposed to be.
Right. It's something that we do need to see on TV.
True. But the backstory didn't add up to that. And so you vetted the backstory, not his facade. That's just anyways. What's the hot topic you guys have that you want to bring up to the show so we can get off Chris, because we're not trying to talk about Chris for an hour.
To talk about Chris, who's more important, Jacob or Eric and Virginia?
Let's go to Haley and Jacob. What are we thinking about them? Because I'm actually kind of liking them. I didn't like the promo for next week where it looked like he was like, oh, it seems like you're not trying to her or something, because I do remember her mom said, if you like push her too much, she'll shut down. So Jacob seems like a nice guy, but he's trying to be more communicative. I can see that. But I don't know if they're gonna take a turn for the negative now.
Yeah. I first of all, the Haley's always been a bride and never bridesmaid, never the bride. Right. I mean, I don't know. I think she's trying to build a friendship with Jacob. And I don't think it was going to go beyond a friendship, honestly.
Well, they did in this last episode, though.
They did. Okay. They're looking kind of cute over there. They did.
They had their moments. They were still boring and awkward. Where it just seemed like they could possibly have a connection.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have to see more of them to be able to see that.
I agree.
Who's that, Tana?
I think that she is trying to go along with the process.
Yeah.
Any chemistry right now. It's not to say they're not going to build chemistry.
Yeah.
But right now, no. But I think Jacob is also, he's laying in that bed and always giving her that. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
What'd you say, Haley? He's trying to give her that eye, like, to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's not feeling that eye, that romantic thing to me. So I don't know. I just think that he's trying to. I think Jacob is trying a little too hard with her. I think he does have to give her time to open up, because he's so random. He talks about random stuff like kettlebells. I mean, so even I'm like, okay, and the onion thing. I still don't know how they got on top of that onion.
That was weird.
It was very weird.
He's random, so I think they need to try to have like regular conversation about day-to-day things and try to connect on that. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
The question is the issue that he's too old
for her?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I don't know if it's actually his age. I mean, he's definitely the oldest, but I think it's more of, and shout out to, again, John likes the 80s, but I think it's more of like, he seems older than he actually is. Like he acts really, you know what I'm saying? He stays in that mode, like, we're only going to talk about 80s. We're only going to talk about this. He's very set in his ways, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just he's significantly younger than he is, and she's not used to all the little weird stuff that he does yet. But I will give her credit for making it seem as if she's being really open-minded towards the process. But somebody also said that you can see it in her face a little bit, that she's like, why is this happening right now?
Yeah.
Really?
I can see that. I
just told you I don't like onions. You gonna eat that whole thing in my face?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm excited to see his house. I'm excited to see her face when she sees his house.
Yeah.
We're talking about.
I'm definitely excited to see everybody move in.
The house, please.
When everybody moves in, that's definitely going to be an episode.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see his house, to be honest.
I'll hear about it for a little bit.
His refrigerator is different since he only eats steak and eggs. That's your thing. Like, Well, I like to see his refrigerator. He probably has like steak and eggs and like muscle milk. And that's about it.
He might get weirder when they go home because he's in his like comfort zone.
Chatting it up, and she thinks his house is the ish. It might be. It sounds like it's laid out.
We
got a little beach. We got a spa. We got a pool. I'm not mad at that.
Haley's mom knows nowhere near that house.
Wow.
Ooh, I agree with that.
Like I said, she's open to it. She's at least like putting up with the C word.
Yeah, but she's better than Jamie. Jamie took it horribly from the jump. Like seriously,
true. She did.
Dug through the ringer and ate.
She did. So let me ask you guys this quick question: how long have you all? How many seasons have you watched Married at First Sight? Have you been in from the beginning?
Me, I have been watching since the beginning. I brought Vince in, like I think the season with Jeff T is the first season he saw.
Shawnee's and Jeff T.
Okay. Nate and Sheila was the first.
Oh, Nate and Sheila. Excuse me, Chicago. Yeah. Chicago. What was that? Season 8, something like that.
I don't remember.
But yeah, I've been watching since the beginning. So.
Yeah, me too. LEL, yeah, I think so too. I think he's got wood paneling all over the place too, especially since he mentioned the 70s diet. Pretty much old school 70s stuff.
Come on. You might have a disco ball set up somewhere.
No, that's not 80s.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry.
We possibly might think that Haley and Jacob could be the next Jamie and Doug. What about Chris and Paige?
No.
She said, hey, we're bringing this boy up again.
Let's save that for another issue, another topic. There's something else on him. Let's just jump to Virginia and Eric. What do we think about her?
The litmus levels. Litmus levels are off. Not in that last episode, though. Again.
I think he's down for the cause, but I think there's going to be an issue when they get back into regular life. I'm curious to know if she drinks and parties that much in regular life. Because it's hard to have a career and work 40 plus hours a week and drink that much and still make it to work. Well, me.
I have known people like that. No, I have personally known people like that drank and came to work within an hour or two from the club.
Okay.
I've heard stories, but that's not my experience. I can't do that. I'm not going to make it to work. So,
but here's the thing, though, to answer your question. Again, when we saw the preview of them getting married or telling their families to get married, Virginia's friend said, well, you like to party. Are you sure you're ready to settle down? So there's your answer. So clearly she parties all the time. So to me, she gives me like tailgate vibes. Like if there's a football game, basketball, whatever, she's there. Because remember at the wedding before they went upstairs, it was like, oh, I brought a cooler. Who brings a cooler? Who brings a cooler?
That's the type of party girl she is, I guess.
So she's a partier. There's your answer. She's a party girl.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an issue because for sure I got like super controlling vibes from Eric based off what he was saying. Based off him saying like, yeah, you shouldn't have any male friends and stuff like that. I'm not saying you should have a bunch of male friends and you're a married woman, but if I had a male friend that I'm cool with for years, just because I got a husband, I'm not gonna get rid of that friend. Like that's weird to me. It's like trust issue type controlling
is his father
thing.
Still in the picture?
His dad is a pilot.
Yeah, so I think we got to see more of his dad.
Yeah, we need to see how his dad operates.
To see more of him because honestly, he's even stated himself before, like, oh, I'm a pilot. My father was a pilot. This is how I live a pilot's life. His mom was, oh, I'm a pilot's wife. This is how you're going to behave. This is how things have to happen. Yeah. So I think all of his like organization is just literally coming down from what he's seen in his life.
But I also think that they have a traditional like he has a traditional view of family and gender roles. And I don't know if she does. And that I feel like that's going to be the real issue.
She doesn't.
Well, Vince, I have a question for you. Since you're the only guy on the panel. Do you think guys and girls could be friends if they're in a relationship with someone else?
I do. I'm going to say yeah. I'll say yeah. Obviously, there are, certain levels of boundaries that need to be in place. A certain level of respect has to be held on every party's side. But yeah, I think again, part of him and the way that his mindset is coming, he knows he's not going to be there most of the time. He knows that he doesn't really know her that well and that if he's not there, she's going to be drinking. So he doesn't want anybody around his wife pretty much while he's on the road. So I can see where
that's kind of understandable, especially if she drinks to the point that she drinks.
Right.
I feel like he don't want to come home and like, oh, I accidentally made out with some guy, like, because that's unfortunately that's what you think of when you think of a girl that parties all the time and is always out.
I feel like we haven't seen her not under the influence since.
That's for sure.
Well, in Virginia's defense, it was her bachelor party. Well, bachelor,
and then her wedding, and then her
honeymoon. And it's a honeymoon, so she wants to drink and have fun with her new man. So I don't see anything wrong with that for Virginia. I mean, I see lots of people saying, you know, she's a drunk and all that stuff. I don't think she's a drunk. I just think she likes to have a good time, and she's under other people's dimes, so other people are paying for it. So why not? In Vegas too, though you can't really do that much. Still, there were still some places open where you can drink, and I agree. I would have went through the mini bar too, because
that's what they was doing.
That on your own without television support.
Well, she didn't have to hit the mini bar. All she had to do was go down to the lobby to the gift shop and get her a bottle. It's not that hard when you live here. But the point is, her friend said that, what are you going to do? Well, her friends reeled it in for her. But I think that her drinking is part of her coping mechanism based on her background, because she mentioned how her parents had been married and divorced a few times.
Ooh.
And I think that's her way of coping. And I think that once you start to do that, it's hard to reel it back in. And I think that Eric is starting to see that she's not just young, because she is, you know, because, well, you know, I know we're in different stages of life. He's trying to say it right now the nice way. Mm-hmm. So I don't see that as being controlling. He's just trying to let her know, like, you know, I can see, if you see someone meet someone, it don't take much to see who they are if they're out there like that. So her drinking it right now is out there like that. Mm-hmm. To me,
I feel like that's his, like, he really likes her is what I'm gathering.
Definitely.
He really likes her. She really likes him, but he sees some red flags and he's trying to curb it. Like, let her know what his expectation is.
Exactly.
It does sound a little bit controlling to me, but at the same time, he stated what his expectations are. We'll see how it goes, but I won't be surprised if a little bit further down the line, there's some friction about this.
Right. I agree, Anika. Her abandonment issues are loud, and she covers it up with her drinking. And we could even like roll this back now that we know that's kind of like Paige's background too. How she feels she wants to be directed by the Lord and stuff like that to find her man on a reality show. Mm-hmm. Why she's gonna stick through it is because she wants that. The same thing I said about Virginia. They're longing for that family they never had. That's it for me. That's exactly what I get from it. And by my impression, yeah. So, and I also too wish paired with Haley. I think a few of these couples are mispaired. I do.
That's every season we say this too. Yeah. Last season they were mispaired, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think.
Henry and Olivia should have been together.
Oh, now you on the wave. That was my biggest thing last season. I think they should have been together.
Yeah, there was a lot of mismatch this season. Yeah, the experts, I don't know what they saw, but you know, sorry, Vince, you're the only guy in here, but there's a lot of boring men on here who set in their ways with younger women who aren't ready to settle down. So I think that's a mismatch. Yeah. So what's the point of matching them? Just because, you know, nah. The vetting process, whatever the questionnaire that was for another reality show, weren't for this one, because it's wrong. It's just wrong. It just didn't work out for me. So anyway, so Ryan,
before you even get into that, you just jumping through all the topics.
Oh, I'm just what's on my mind.
Someone brought up a good point, and it reminded me of you, Mom, in Life of, I don't know how to pronounce
Bosch, but sorry if we mispronounced it.
He said her age and perceived maturity are gonna come into question further down the road. See, now I gotta throw this back on you.
That's exactly it, because I would have said it just like that.
Because you were the same person who said, you know, she's
are you pointing at me?
Enough for her.
So who's this about?
So well, I was like, I don't think her maturity is ready, but you still gave them a maybe, and I gave them a no because she's not ready. I'm not going to say she reminds me of me, but I'm just going to say she has some qualities of me because she's still young and she still wants to go out. So why do you think she would even be a maybe to still be married to this 30-something-year-old man? Because you wouldn't want me to do that.
Right.
True. But anyway, so here's my answer. First of all, you're 24. How old is she? 26?
Yeah, she's 26.
And she saw the first sight.
Right. And she's not like you because she's a lush and you're not.
Some qualities.
Oh, the only quality is you're young. But anyway, we're past that. I gave her, when I first met her and them, a maybe, no maybe. And what I said was what I just said a minute ago. Her longing for that family dynamic that she never had is the reason why I could see why she wants to be on the show being married. But as far as her maturity level and drinking and partying, it's a no. But I think that Eric can kind of like bring her around if they can get past that. She has to be willing to recognize she has an issue with her coping mechanism, which is clearly alcohol. But her longingness and her maturity part to be married, I can see. Period. I can see. I don't see that with Paige, though. I never saw that with Paige. And I didn't even recognize that was Paige's story before. When I heard Paige's family, when they were talking, her brother's like, oh, well, you can't be this or that. I was like, yep, her brother spelled it plainly. I was like, no. I said, nope, she's not ready. Honestly. And I personally think I could be a great guest expert because, like I said earlier,
I think so.
I'm easily amused, but I'm hard to convince. It's either yes or it's no for me. Like, you have to have like a direct line, have your facts lined up for me to even like roll with you. If you don't, you can cancel everything. You and your brother know you can cancel it. You might as well just keep that to yourself. The answer is an automatic no.
Well, you would be horrible this season because you gave some people a maybe. So
I said a maybe, no maybe, and then a no, maybe no.
It's either yes or it's no.
Well, we can't. Okay, Virginia.
She used what you said on you. You say yes or no. So come on.
Well, the maybe, like I said, was for the longing, and the no was for the drinking. So it was both. It's both.
Can't have it both ways.
Well,
this is not Burger King.
But guess what, though? I think that they will work out. I think Virginia Eric will work out because she wants that. Eric wants that. They want the same thing.
I think they like each other enough to compromise and try to work things out together.
Right. And I know
made it clear that she does not want to be controlled, and she's not feeling that jealousy thing.
She could drink for like one day when he's at work, and then be sober.
How would he know he ain't even gonna be there?
Exactly. Come on.
Yep.
Since we're
still
on Virginia and Eric, do you think Virginia was wrong to ask those questions to Chris?
I think that neither one of them read the room. It's what they were clearly so much more drunk than everybody else that they literally just said whatever they were thinking.
I agree.
It was a valid question based on the fact
it was wrong, but it was very valid.
But her confession where she was like, well, if they randomly hooked up one time, who's to say that she wasn't dealing with other people too? That's a valid question. But his reaction makes me feel like he knows for a fact. When you know for a fact it's you, but you wasn't with that person, that means you was dealing with that person.
Yeah. We rewatched the clip this morning, just that part, specifically to see Eric with his weird tongue action that he was doing to prove that he was also very drunk.
He was so drunk. You could tell.
They were lit. They were under the influence of something somehow.
So well, yeah, you could tell they were.
They didn't have a chance to read the room. When they sat down and like, oh, this is great. We're so in love. She's amazing. I'm good. Right. Blah, blah, blah. So what's happening with y'all? Why y'all look like somebody died in here? What's happening? Come on, Chris, what's up? Talk to me. Yeah.
You know what?
They were the mood was immediately just brought down. They're like, wait, what's happening? Everybody knew this already?
I agree, Vince. I agree. Life of Bosch, whatever, how you pronounce it. I would love for you to come on because I have agreed with everything you said.
Join us.
I 100% agree. I've always said that. Like, you're marrying a stranger. You don't know this person. And if they're going to disrespect you to the point on really night one, what's to hold on to?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Honestly, I don't get it. Again, experts, they're not expecting it. but they need to be on standby for whatever may come up because things could get out of hand. They need assistance.
Drunk people tell no lies.
She's like, y'all wasn't thinking the same thing? Come on.
I agree with her because that's the first thing. What Virginia said is the first thing I thought too. I was like, so if it was randomly you hooked up with her one time and y'all had broken up months before, who's to say she wasn't dealing with somebody else? But I try not to think of that way. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But you need to be sure because this affects your marriage directly.
His benefit of the doubt. His benefit of the doubt left at the wedding. That's he no longer had any more benefits of the doubt. That's where, if we were going to believe something about you being upstanding, all that went out the window from that day forward. There's nothing that he could say. Again, I'm back on that. There's nothing he could say to me that would make me believe that he wasn't with her or that wasn't his baby, because you know what? He got upset too fast.
He was like, that's disrespectful. I'm like, you should not care about the ex to that degree where you ready to like. It seemed like he was like, oh, you ain't gonna talk about my ex like that. Like, do you care about your wife?
I'm glad he put energy towards Paige as well, but yeah, it did. I mean, obviously you can't account for what somebody might be going through in that situation.
Yeah.
When it's literally happening to them and they supposedly are, it's all happening at the same time and they're having the cameras and lights on, not standing up for him, but I'm just saying like, this is something that he could be going through that could be like monumental. I honestly think that he might be way more sensitive than he portrays. Or is he just faking? Is it all crocodile tears?
No, he's hella sensitive. He's very sensitive.
He's very, very sensitive.
All guys that are like him, like that, are extremely sensitive.
I'm going to say this on our review too, but I wrote it down. It's he or she who has nothing to hide, has nothing to fear. That's for Chris.
There you go.
That's true.
Snaps.
That's it. That's it.
That's all I had to say about that.
Yeah. Okay, so what about Ryan and Clara?
Did we talk about them?
No, we didn't talk about them yet.
Oh, I think I had mentioned already that we don't know if they're going to continue to.
We were trying to figure out who's going to lose interest in the other person first.
He's boring. You think he'll lose interest first because she won't shut up?
Should we make a bet on that?
You want to bet $1?
You want to get $1 back on?
Y'all trying to get it back on? Who's going to
quarter each?
My money is actually on Ryan because he seems the least interested already. We've already caught, at least, how, again, production, they do a job of, what is the word, Chekhov's pistol, where they let you know what is to come by showing you certain things with the camera. We've already seen him do this too many times.
He's like, she talks a lot.
Like, yo, really?
But I think Clara might be first because once he discloses that he's never been in love, and she said she falls in love very quickly. And her friends also said that she's very into physical. So when they said physical, I'm assuming they meant sex. So Ryan doesn't seem to be trying to have sex with her yet. He doesn't seem to be very personality. He doesn't have much of a personality. He's super into like more religious than she is from what I've seen. So I don't think that. I think she's gonna lose interest in him first because she's very hyper active to me. So it's like if you can't keep her attention for long enough, she's gonna move on.
Okay, let's bring this person up. Here we go.
Who coming up? Life.
Hello.
How you guys doing? How
do you say your name? How do you say your screen name?
So it's Life of Budge.
Budge.
Okay, from London.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
What's going
on?
How
about you?
Good.
Good.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I've been listening. I've been following your channel, so I've been listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like what you guys do, but I'm just quite frustrated at the moment with this program. I think in previous seasons, I guess you could always kind of see who was going to work out, and you kind of understand maybe where the individuals went wrong, and you kind of thought, okay, now the expert did a good job there. The people just didn't do the work. But I think with the matching of, I wouldn't even say that it's a bad match. I actually don't think that Paige and Chris are a bad match. I think they just shouldn't have been on the show. I just don't think there's people that are ready. They should never have been on the show. I'm looking at Paige and I'm thinking, looking at her, I'm thinking, you're not someone who's ready to be married. You're not someone who I don't think she has a type. I just think she is someone who put anybody in front of her. Okay, yeah, I'm ready to be married. You know, this is someone that God has put aside for me. That's what she would say. I don't think it would make a difference who this man was. He could have just come out of jail. It could have been anybody. I think she would have tried to spin the narrative and said, oh yeah, God has given me this man, you know? And I think with Chris, yeah, he is. I just think this is all part of. He probably did the show for his image. He did the show on a whim. You know, he's trying to portray this successful Christian black man, but he's trash. He's trash as a person. As a person, trash. And he just. I think he just thought that it was going to be a breeze, and it was just a show they were going to give him someone that he wants. And I'm thinking, have you not watched this program? Like, I've never seen anybody on the show who I guess looks like the stereotypical sort of IG model type of woman. So everybody just is not. I've never seen anyone on the show who's like sort of completely ugly, but they're usually just regular people. It's usually just regular people, and pretty much in the looks department, people are usually paired, or if you don't indicate that, look, I'm shallow, I need somebody that is like a certain level, they're gonna give you somebody who's pretty much on your level. I don't think there's anybody who's been like extremely pretty and it was someone that's ugly. So I think yeah, it's very, very questionable. But that's kind of what I have to add. But good to hear what you guys have to say.
I appreciate it. I agree with all your comments so far, and I think so too. When you're given the questionnaire for Married at First Sight, whatever, you should be as honest as possible, because your answers are what's going to get you your match. It's not because you see them sight unseen, so you don't get to say, "Oh, I want brown hair, short hair, long hair." Whatever you say, they're going to match up based on what you say. You know, so if you wanted somebody shallow and a particular color or this, whatever he liked, he should have said that.
Yeah.
But that's just
he should have said a lot of things. I don't. Hey y'all. I don't think that he had any intention of ever telling her that girl was pregnant, because I don't think he intended to stay with her. So he was like, "Well, I was going to tell her anyway." And Paige, I feel like they should have put her with Eric, because she's very traditional. She's very like mother, wife, this is whatever. I think she would have been a better fit with Eric. And somebody had said last night that Eric's ex-wife was a black woman. So, you know, the way that he was like pointing, like, this is what we know that's our thing. Like that pointing, that
I was like, here go Eric with that hand.
Yeah, Eric with the hand, like that's kind of like our thing. And so I was just like, she didn't ask enough questions for me. I wouldn't have stayed, but to me at this point, I kind of feel like she has to stay. Like what Kate from Philly said about if they left, they had to pay $100K. So I mean, at this point, it's only like 6, 7 more weeks. I could put up with you for that long to get my money and go about my business. Like, I could pull a Zach and just come in when I'm supposed to come in. My little 10 minutes. Pretend like I want to be with you and go about my business. I think to me, he was still engaged to that girl when he was doing the process. So I don't like everything about. And to me, I feel like the producers knew that and they picked him, because if we were as general public able to find that on a basic Google search, I know it's their job to find out these information. I don't like they knew. You know, every season was a throwaway, and I feel like they were the throwaway. I think she would have been better paired off with Eric. I think Virginia would have been okay with Chris, because, like, you know, neither one of them are marriage material anyway. So that would have been, nobody would have cared.
That's saying something, Virginia and Chris, huh? I don't think Chris.
No. I don't see that.
I don't see it either. But as far like they got to go with somebody. So
yeah,
let the two of them who don't really know anything.
Well,
I
what
don't
the
think they'll do
I think the experts should, if just like this couple here, like I said, we've seen that this was going to be a disaster before it even aired. They could have stepped in like now, literally when it comes on Wednesday, we should see them.
We better see them next episode.
Take the initiative, and even though now it's for ratings, if a couple isn't working, like I said, if this was domestic violence, would they keep them on? You can remove a couple. We can work with the other couples. You don't have to keep them on. So you can remove a couple and bring in, maybe do something to her, to bring in another one, let them go through the marriage process and meet up everybody down the road. Like, you don't have to stick with this.
But somebody said that Chris was a replacement husband. He wasn't her original husband.
That's even worse.
Well, we've heard that before in other seasons too. Remember, Taylor he was a replacement for her.
Who was?
So, Brandon.
Oh yeah. Her husband dropped out at the last minute, and then they just kind of scrambled and got him. But to me, I feel like if they don't feel, but Pastor always said that they had a problem finding Black men that wanted to be married to Black women.
Yeah, somebody said that in the comments. Most Black men request for lighter women, and Black women always want Black men. And Paige requested a Black man.
Yeah, but I think that you should also ask the question: if he's not Black, is that okay?
Well, that should be part of your questionnaire.
Yeah,
because they touted Brianna and Vincent as the first interracial. First of all, I don't consider them interracial. I consider
he's
them
Dominican. He's Black.
Intercultural couple. I think they're intercultural, but Ryan and
how I feel about that, because I know some people who are Dominican and they feel a certain type of way. So we have to respect that that's how they feel, no matter how we feel personally.
But I don't remember them touting Ryan and Clara as interracial.
They are, and they weren't even the first interracial couple. The first interracial couple was like season 2. Jessica was a Jessica and a Ryan. She was Puerto Rican and he was white. And then they had a Davina. She was Indian. And then they had 2 half Indian girls. And then they had on the Miami season, they had a girl that was from Nicaragua and the guy was white.
So, that's true, but you have to remember, the only original expert is Pepper.
Yeah,
the original expert. So as time went on, then that's when all that came about with Pastor Cal and Dr. Viviana. So, but yeah, that's pretty good, Kelsey. Anything else you want to add, Life of Bosch, about any other couple?
Do you know what? I think I find the Eric and Virginia dynamic, or Eric and vodka dynamic. I think, do you know that I don't necessarily even have an issue with her drinking. I have an issue with her drinking because she's trying. You've met someone and you're trying to be married. I just think it's just weird. It's weird to go on a show, weird where you're supposed to be putting your best foot forward, and half the time you're intoxicated. I think that's just a weird way of dating. Oh, so being married even. I think it's just. I just feel like, if I'm talking to someone, I'm trying to get to know you, and majority of the time you're kind of just very, very bubbly, but it's a false bubbly. It's you being intoxicated. It would be a turn off to me. I think maybe because he's attracted to her a lot at the moment, and I think all they have to do is drink, go on holiday. I think once real life hits, and he's got to go to work, and he sees that she just wants to come home and drink in the evening, I think he's going to be turned off. And also, I think he's going to be very insecure about things, because I don't know whether maybe I made this up. But I thought I saw something in the preview of him saying something like, one of the guys saying to one of the women that what's it called? You seem like you're seeing someone else, or something like that. I think I saw something like that.
That was
Jacob. Okay, makes sense. It makes sense. makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I can see that being a problem. I can see him feeling insecure about how she moves because of the fact that she's going to be drunk. She's going to be a heavy drinker. And I think that's probably why the whole issue of him mentioning male friends comes into, because he probably thinks at her age and the way in which she goes about, she's going to be easy target for men who are like that, men who can get close to her, and probably when he's not around, take advantage. I think that's why, and I can see why, because there are men that do that, and maybe in his past when he used to go out, that was what he used to do. He just terms of like go and talk to the drunk girl, go and talk to the girl who's very bubbly, that kind of thing. So I can see why. I don't think he's gonna be controlling, like, but I can see where his insecurities are coming from. And I think they could be the one who end up blowing up in this series, and I think it could all end. I think while we're all watching Paige and Chris in their toxic situation, I think they could be the ones which ends early. I think they could be early. Yeah.
You think so too, Kelsey?
I think so too. Like for me, Virginia, somebody's echoing. Oh, okay, it's good. With Virginia, I just think she don't know who she is, and she's a very young 26, like a young 26, and she don't. I think she just did this on a whim. Like I think she just wanted somebody that could come and party with her and have a good time. Because she said she was like, "Well, he's like, well, I'll be gone for these many days and come back." She's like, "Well, I'll be at work all day. I won't see you. I'll be gone," which lets me know she don't intend to stop partying. Like she intends to hit up happy hour from 6 to 9 and then come back home and go to sleep. So I just don't see them really working. And then how he dismissed the first marriage. Oh, we didn't even have rings. Y'all were married for 6 years. That's a long time. You married somebody. Like his jealousy, I think that kind of stems from girl, because what was she doing while he was on deployments? Because and like military men get cheated on all the time because them deployments be long and they be lonely. And I don't see her being able to handle it. I think at first it'll be cute. I think it'll give them a chance to kind of like date effectively. Because I mean, think about it, if he's gone 4 or 5 days, generally if you're dating somebody, you only see them maybe once, twice a week. So it's like they're dating, but they're married. So if it were me and they really wanted to try to see if they could make it work, maybe not live together after the experiment. It's kind of like you're still married, but date. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your space, he got his space, and then kind of see where it can go from there. But I don't think they'll last long term because he wants kids like yesterday, and she still wants to go to the hour. To me, she's not. She will be good for him 10 years from now.
If I was her, I would. She said she was 50-50 about wanting kids anyway. So based on her expressing her concern to him about, hey, like I don't want to, have a kid, and you're on the road all the time, and I feel like a single parent. He was just like, oh yeah, you'll just get used to it. Like, nah, that's not gonna be a good mix. It's not gonna be.
Yeah, he's always like, you'll get used to it. It'll be okay. We'll figure it out. You didn't offer a nanny. You didn't offer daycare. And even with the nanny or daycare, they got to go home at some point.
Right.
True. So it's like, she will be a single parent. And I just don't think she's going to fit in with the family because they seem real conservative. Yeah. And then the sister that was gay, and you could tell he was like,
oh, I forgot she did say that at the wedding. She was like, yeah, my sister's gay. Those 2 kids, they had them through something. I'm like, that's too much information in a wedding.
That was too. That's
you could have left that part out. You could have just said, this is my sister.
Right.
That's their kids. Like, we need to know how they came to be. Like, that's not, you don't look at the straight couple and say, yeah, they had sex to make that baby.
Right.
Chanel 5 or Channel 5, Eric, on the line, please. Because she is feeling him.
Yes. Chanel 5, would you like to join? Anybody?
No, that's Eric.
Oh.
That's funny.
I mean, because Eric isn't an ugly dude, but he just, Eric's mama, yes.
That's true. Pilot's wife.
Yeah, because that mama look like she don't play no games.
Oh, you're not sure if you want kids. Okay.
Like she's a real step for guys.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking. And I was also thinking about, like, I always see people that have been married, they've been married for a long time. And you might have, your mom might have that one friend that's been married to her husband for a while, but that friend gets lit, like wine drunk every weekend. I imagine they were like Virginia back in the day, is what I'm
because the grandmama and the mama, they just like they do a lot of brunch, a lot of garden teas, like I'm from the South too. And so like they remind me of like my white homegirls, mamas and grandmamas that think having mimosas ain't drinking. Or like I need a glass of wine, or stuff like that. Then next thing you know, they sit in the corner leaning.
Yeah, because they had champagne with that orange juice.
I just and the way that they were very southern and very put together in the sense of like what I look like really matters. No, y'all wrong for that. That man can't help that.
Oh my god!
That man can't help that. That's okay. We still love you anyway, even though you don't got no lips.
So we'll have to see how Virginia and Eric keep it up, because it looks like they're going to get under Chris's skin the most coming up.
I want them to Eric beat him up.
I'm waiting to hear the microaggressions that are gonna come out.
Yeah, Clara.
That conservative side.
Clara has some serious microaggressions, and I can't.
Oh yeah.
Well, the comments about the butts, their skin, how pretty they are. Like, just say you feel inferior. Just say that you feel like you're ugly compared to them.
Well, I remember in the beginning, in her introduction, they said she was like, "Yes, I was at the Black Lives Matter protest. I want somebody that cares about it as much as I do, and all this stuff." So I was expecting her to be different than she is, and then I was like, "Performative activism is the first thing I thought," and I was like, "Is she really down for the cause, or she thinks that's what you should be doing?"
Ethnically,
if you're trying to plan a life with him, you're gonna have black kids, basically. So you need to really think about this.
But the first thing he said was he was French Creole. So does he even identify as a black man?
He does. I think at one point he said he was black. I think at one point he said he was black.
Yeah, I think he identifies as. I'm pretty sure he does. I thought it was ironic that she said she likes someone that is racially ambiguous.
She did say that.
Oh, I wanted a simple last name. I'm like, racially ambiguous and simple last name don't go together.
No,
she wanted a Jackson, a Smith, a Jones.
She wanted a slave holding last name.
Exactly what I was thinking.
I said in my review, I said those are slave holding last names. Like my name Brown. That ain't an African name. That's whoever owned my family when they were slaves, and they just kept that name when they became free.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not sure if Ryan is pro-black either, to be honest. I don't get that vibe from Ryan.
Well, I watched Unfiltered. He had on an equality shirt under his blazer, but I just kind of felt like that was show.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was kind of for show. It's like, I'm sure he reads the comments, people saying that, he ain't black enough and this, that, and third. Because when he was like, yeah, I want like a Zoe Deschanel, just tell you want a white girl. Like I respect black men that just be upfront and be like, listen, I just want a white girl. I just
honestly, I have to say that too. Whatever it is that you want, be upfront and say it. I mean, it's not for us to like. You have to live that life. To
be fair to Ryan, when you look at his background, when you look at what he said, and you look at look at his friends, there was not one ethnic in that group of friends. You can see he's living a very, I guess, what you may say.
But that's by choice, though. That's how
he said he grew up, though. He said
I don't necessarily think I reckon that's his environment. That's what he's used to. And not to say, that you can't, if you're black and you're from a black family, that you can't. But I don't think his parents made a point to, ensure that they're around other black people. I think the schools, whatever he went to, that's just the way it was. And it was nothing which was sort of, because it's work. You have to do it. You have to actually, if you're going to raise your children in environments where you're surrounded by white people, you have to constantly make the choice to educate them and to actually include other black people around them. If you don't, then you're going to grow up like your environment. So if all your friends like blondes, then you're going to like blondes as well. That's just how it goes. So that is the same in the UK. That's how it goes. I've been to schools which are predominantly white, and it's like that.
But you know what I think is interesting? When it comes to Ryan's brother hangs out with black people. Ryan's brother cool. He isn't the producer of the 95 South show. He does something with the 95 South show. So
yeah, he does South show. I don't know what it is that he does, but he does something. But I wonder were they raised together? Like, is it that they got the same daddy but different mamas? Because normally, like black women, our kids don't live separate from us. Like, there ain't no way because Angela would ever not live with mom. Like, that wasn't gonna happen. Like,
they were raised together. I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't. I'm pretty sure they were raised together from how I saw them, and he just you can have kids raised in a house like Mom was saying earlier, and they just be completely different.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because me and my sister are totally different, but.
It could be schooling. It could be schooling because sometimes I know I've seen situations where just between the two different types of schools someone could go to, maybe high school, he went to just a whole different type of high school to him, and
I mean that could be
shaped by your friends.
Money.
That sort of period of going to school, being around a certain group of people, that could shape you. Maybe his brother has had a different experience in terms of his friendship group and maybe the high school or whatever that he went to. That could be it.
Yeah, or it could be like the relationships he's had with people.
Yeah.
That have changed how he views them. Because like Ryan could have had a great relationship because he's lighter, whereas the brother was a bit darker and he didn't have as much of a good experience. But he wasn't.
Ladies, is that a perm? Is that a perm that Ryan has? Like, what is that hair? The hair that Ryan has, I don't know. Is it a perm?
No, slick down.
It's yeah.
No, it's not a slick down. That's a flat iron and this slick down. That's not naturally his hair.
Using all kind of gel. Like I bet it's too curly. Yeah, exactly. I could see that. I could see him being picked on. Like, yeah, I could really see that.
Last time it was hard for me. It didn't fit in.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's hard to adjust, and then you just kind of like go with the flow. I could see that.
Simulation. That's what people tend to do.
That haircut is special.
It is like, and it seems like he has hair, but it's just a choice to do it like that.
Yeah, it's just the styling is weird.
Yeah,
I've never seen anybody do a comb over, which is voluntary. Usually,
Wow. Well, happy mood. I know sometimes when people say that they're Creole, they usually mean that they have mixed blood in them. So he might consider himself mixed.
Oh, they say it's a perm.
It's something.
Oh.
I thought he relaxed it and then slicked it back. So I don't know.
Yeah. I thought it was a flat iron.
I don't know. I think he just had gel in it from what I see. But also, that's the same thing. Like you can have the same two parents and your hair texture be completely different.
Yeah, that's true.
The dad has the same hair texture. The dad has the same hair texture.
Okay.
Yeah, the dad.
The brother got the mom's hair texture that close to the mom, and then he got his dad. So maybe that's what it is.
Wait, no, not that one. Sorry, y'all. The Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, do not try that at home.
The Gorilla Glue, right?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. Now, I don't see them working long term though, because just like her irritation about religion, and he's so steadfast on it. I just don't see that working because she just looked like she wanted to die when they were praying over the food.
Yeah.
Girl, it's just a prayer. It ain't gonna hurt you.
Hey, Devontae. No, I think. Here I go with my opinions again. I think Clara will always be, even if they make it, uncomfortable because of the religious factor. Because even if Ryan doesn't pray over his food, his family does. Even if Ryan doesn't practice his daily devotional, his family does. He's tight with his family. That's just the part of life he grew up. He wants his kids in the church. He wants his kids involved in stuff like that. And she is so, I'm not gonna say so against it, but she's against them having organized religion, because if you go back to when Ryan was talking to her parents and how her mom was like, oh, we're the blame for her being this way and that way, this way. So it seems like, what's her name? Clara has had a lot of anxieties growing up about certain things, and she didn't know how to cope because maybe her mom don't know how to cope because her mom took the blame for her. You know what I'm saying? So
the mom said that they don't know they don't communicate.
Because they always hid arguments from her because they know they were of the old school belief of you don't fight in front of the kids. My parents said that's the only way you learn how to communicate is by seeing stuff. So they didn't tell us to go in the room.
But again, that to me, that's going to be a big issue, the communication thing first, religious thing second in that relationship, because she's always going to be uncomfortable because it's never going away. Versus now, let's circle back to Chris and Paige. Now, Paige is the first one to talk about, let's put God first, God first. Ryan's not even saying that, but it's known. Clara knows this is the elephant in the room. You see what I'm saying? So, but that's just me.
But to me, I think that's some things that he should have made as a non-negotiable. Like when she said she was spiritual, that ain't the same thing as being Christian. Like I think it's gonna blow up in their faces because I mean, look at what happened with Jamie and Beth. Neither one of them wanted kids, but they both said they wanted kids. And now, what would have happened if they would have got with somebody that wanted them, and then they were like, "Ooh, I don't know about that."
Look, you know what, Kelsey? One of these times, and nobody steal our idea, we're gonna go through the Married at First Sight seasons to talk about different couples. But Jamie and Beth, I'm surprised they stayed together because you can only call a stranger.
Yeah.
You can only call me on that name one time. That's it.
Ma'am, Mom. Yes.
I don't know how they stayed together. That's all they kept doing with each other. So I was surprised that they lasted so long.
They like it. They like it like that. Like they like
exactly
like they like that. Like you got one time to call me a female dog or anything other than Kelsey. You got one time. That'll be your last time. That'll be your last. Like I would have been like, y'all might want to cut these cameras because I'm about to show my whole.
No, because you want me to film right so I don't breach contracts, and we're gonna film this too. You called it to me on camera, we getting loud on camera.
My daddy, he probably would have been sitting at the deacon board meeting like, y'all pray for my baby. Because we tried.
No, but see, they would have had to see that you would have to tell them that in advance because remember the show's taped months prior.
That's true, but my daddy wouldn't. I would have told him I acted up, but he he surprised me sometimes because I don't care where we are. If we're in Walmart or church, you can get it. I'll talk about it later, but right now you finna get this work.
Yeah.
All right, JasVynce show. What's the next topic you guys have?
Did we talk about all the couples?
We didn't talk about Brinson.
Okay, of course, you got to save the best for last. Luckily, yes. The situation that we had with Brinson, did you have an actual topic?
Yeah, so the thing I wanted to talk about is about women specifically being a boss in the workplace and coming home and bringing the boss home.
But is she actually a boss in the workplace?
Or do we want the man to take the lead in the house so we can chill and not be a boss everywhere? Since they were talking about Brianna's super bossy, I'm just curious how this is going to work because I identify with this. Being a boss at work, coming home and being like, you got it. I don't got to worry about nothing. Great. But I want to know what's the level of bossy that she's going to be. And is it going to be an issue for Vincent?
Well, in the previews, it said that it was an issue. Like she kind of got on her a little bit.
Sorry. Yeah. I was just quickly saying, is she a boss in the workplace or is she competitive because she's in a male-dominated industry? That's what I would say. I'm not entirely sure whether I think I think she's an engineer, right? So I think I work in a similar industry, so I think maybe she's probably used to being in a position where you're working on projects and you are in charge of people, you're telling them what to do. But I don't feel like it's not a case of you have to tell people exactly how you want them to do it. You don't need to be like that. I think it's more so because maybe the industry is more male dominated, so she feels like she has to talk on the level where some males do on that industry. And I think maybe she struggles to find the balance,
like how to turn it off,
home life and work life. In the working environment, and people are subordinate to you. Get away with that. They may not like you, but they'll bear with you. In a relationship, that doesn't work that way. I think maybe that's more what she's doing. I don't necessarily think, to be a boss you need to be that way, because I've had superiors who were women, and that wasn't how they handled things. You know what I mean? I think she, and as well, I don't necessarily. I think at the moment she's probably still trying to prove herself in her industry. So that's kind of why she is the way she is. I think, a couple of years spent in a relationship, she may mellow a bit. I think she could change. As if she wants to, anyway.
I agree with that. She might be more competitive because engineering for a female is a competitive industry. But I understand that being the boss at working at home too. But the JasVynce show, since you're the couple on here, how does it work for you all at home? Since that was your hot topic.
So bossy.
I will say that we're kind of opposite as far as he's more passive and I'm very like assertive. So as it comes to like things in the household, I basically have to give a list. We just have a general list of things that need to get done, and somebody needs to check it off. So I would say I probably am the boss in the household, but I try to like let him kind of take the reins sometimes. But if he drops the reins, I got to pick it up. So
she's used to being the best always.
That too.
Okay. Well, it works for you guys, right? Does it work for you?
Yeah, I try, but it's still something that I constantly have to work on, not being bossy because he's obviously not my employee. But
there's times where she feels.
I know that's hard to turn off because I even do that with my kids. It's real hard.
Yes,
it really is. What's up, Devontae? Oh, you sneaking at work? I see you sneaking.
Nah, I ain't sneaking.
Why are you looking around?
Somebody walked in.
Okay, what's up?
Not much. What's going on with y'all?
You know, we talking about your favorite show, Married at First Sight, the Chris and Paige show, season 12.
Everybody hates Chris.
I was just sitting here. I was like, oh, it's 2:00 over here. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So we saw your comment about the girl remind you of Natalie Nunn.
I know. I was just cracking up with what you said.
That's hilarious. Once I looked at it,
you figured out.
I remember it now.
So, Devontae, what do you think? Do you think a woman who is a boss, whatever she is with her career, do you think she should take it home and still be the boss to her man or significant other, or should she turn it off?
You said, should she turn it, the bossy off?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he like that. What are you talking about, Vincent and Brianna?
Yeah.
I don't know. They said, his family said that she they got strong women, so it looked like something he used to. But I think, he don't have to say yes to her. When she was like, "You want a condo or a townhouse?" and she was like, "Townhouse." He was like, "I want a condo." Oh, I want a condo too.
So you think he's going with the flow for her right now?
For now, I think later on, all right, I don't really want a condo.
Maybe not, but she
needs commitment.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So what are your take on all the other couples?
Man, do I got time?
You got a few minutes here.
Chris, he's, I don't really, it's not like I hate him because he's black. We black. I'm rooting for him a little bit, but it's just like, it's too much going on. But I think he low-key got the sucker he needs.
That's what he wanted.
He found one. You see, only a couple scenes later, she's what baby? I never had sex with somebody who would never have sex with somebody who didn't know my name, my middle name.
That's all I'm saying.
That's true. He was linked
during your vows. They say your middle name during your vows. I mean,
right? Like
that's a
stupid. He just be killing me with the fake crying. And, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you. That's how it be.
My favorite part of the whole episode.
He was
it makes me upset, but it makes me crack up because it's like you have to laugh at it because it's dumb.
Yeah,
so like, I like to laugh at dumb stuff.
So when you want to go to the pool, like, wait a minute, what?
Well, I'm a more serious person. So whatever you present to me now is what I expect. And the minute you go off of that, then I'm like, oh, okay, so that's the real you. But do you think that Chris, since you said what you said, do you think that he naturally goes for women like that he can kind of like control and manipulate?
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know how to sense a slow one?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're about to cut you off, Devontae.
Oh my goodness.
She killing me because she ain't gonna do Jesus like that. My Jesus would think Chris like that. I don't know what she do. She just, I think the Lord is testing. Oh, the Lord is trying to see if he's still dumb.
For a man to cry that many times in front of a woman he just met, he has to know she's a sucker, because why else would you use that? You have to know that she's a sucker, because it takes to be able to cry like that. One, I think you're a manipulator.
Mm-hmm.
If it's because it's not real vulnerability. It's not real vulnerability. He's trying to manipulate the situation for sympathy, and so that she won't be so angry at him. Do you know what I mean? So I mean that's why. Otherwise, there's no way you're crying this early in front of a woman you don't know and that you don't even like.
So Vince, you gonna chime in on that with the other man on the panel?
I would like to not continue to put down people. First off, that's the thing that I want to get out here. Obviously it's the Everybody Hates Chris show. I've already made my points on our show and on here today that I don't want to give Paige too much of that blame, but a little bit to what Devontae is saying is like, again, everything he was saying wasn't that damn smooth for you to just be throwing drawers up in the air like left and right. Like I think that you bring up a good point also about the crying thing. Like as a man, like I'll consider myself pretty emotional also. Jazz hates that
he can cry on cue. Like if he wanted to cry, he can do it right now. But I don't know when he's really crying or he's just playing me.
But I don't use my powers for evil like that. But I really think that, even if he wasn't actually faking, even if he was really crying, like it's like as a man, it takes a certain type of psychology that you have to go through to say, all right, this is happening. I'm gonna cry in front of these people right now, and y'all just gonna be okay with it. Like I'm opening myself to you to do this. And obviously, as a wife, looking at somebody as your wife, it's okay to do that, but it's a bit too much. That's why I said I don't know. Very manipulative in a way. I do feel like he honestly does feel the way that he's expressing. Somebody said I can never understand what he's saying. He needs subtitles.
He does.
So, like, the mumbling thing. I don't know if that's how he talks or if that's just the woe is me. I'm sad. Maybe y'all could feel a little bit worse for me since everybody's showing her love. I really feel like that is a little bit manipulative that he's doing that. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
Wow. I don't know what it is. He doesn't open his mouth when he talks. And I've been like, a lot of times I'll be in the room and I have to look at his lips and listen at the same time, understand what he's saying.
No, I always throw the closed caption on. I'm like, huh? I can't hear nobody sometimes.
Yeah. Happy Moon said Paige has a child already. Now that's news to me. I haven't heard that.
I thought she said her ex had a kid and she was close to
stepmom. Yeah, right. Stepmom. Yeah, I heard that.
She had to reveal that right now.
I swear when Chris was like, yeah.
Yeah,
that scene bothered me so much because I'm like, why is she putting herself through this after 3 whole days? If that was me, my anxiety would have been through the roof. I was like, no, I can't do it. I had a breathing problem. How many times I would have said no? Because it was
also told Brianna when she went to tell her how she was feeling. She told her, "Yeah, I didn't think that I wanted." She said she didn't want to be married to somebody that already had a kid because she wanted to be number one priority. And obviously, she had been through a relationship with somebody that had a kid. So why did she tell Chris the opposite?
Yeah, that's a pattern.
It's because Jesus told her.
Come on.
That's not Jesus. That's not God. That's that devil in there throwing something your way. And God's trying to give you different clues throughout the 3 days.
Don't include me in this.
Yes. Why am I in this?
Why am I in this?
It was like, she don't
know. Let me tell y'all something real quick. So we film immediately after the show goes off. Immediately after, right? And this time around, we had to wait 10 minutes because Cassandra was like, Mom, 3 days. Can you believe it was 3 days? So I'm sitting there just waiting for her to go through a tantrum. But 3 days, Mom. What if it was me 3 days? Would that be you? I'm like, you're not. But I get it though. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, again, circling back, there's too much going on already where production knows, we've known from the beginning that experts need to step in and figure out what they need to do. And, maybe they need to stay at their own houses when they come back. Like, she don't need to move in there because if he just got that cover up, I'm sure like maybe 2 days before the wedding.
Right.
I wonder if
he's got stuff in there too from, huh?
I wonder if they're gonna go baby shopping together. They should put that in the episode.
That's not funny. That's not funny. Devontae is out of control.
Is she down to be the stepmom?
She is down to be the stepmom. She was really like, oh, okay.
I think it's too many layers to accept that responsibility. That's a huge responsibility. You just got married at first sight. You trying to learn who you're with. Unless I'm in love with that person, I can't commit to that responsibility because you don't even know him yet. How you suppose you fall in love with the kid and you don't even notice you don't like him after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
You getting your emotions tied up into some foolishness.
Right. So we're starting to see Paige's pattern too of being, I don't know, following behind a man that she wants to find love in a family with. This is a pattern for her too. It's not a good look. It's more Chris, of course, but Paige is showing her colors as well.
It looks like she just all she need. He got to be black, okay looking, God fearing. She sold. Yes. Thank you. He didn't even pray, and he's supposed to be a pastor.
I thought that was funny too. I'm like, he not blessing the food. Yeah. Okay.
He was like, thank you for the food.
Why would he bless the food if he left the church because they weren't paying him the money? Like, bless the food.
I said that to my wife. She was like, maybe he was hungry. I'm like,
these are valid points.
I noticed that too. I wondered if they was gonna pray.
But then when he prayed, he seemed like he was mad to bless the food.
Yeah, because the real pastor, by the time he got done praying, that food would have been cold.
Right. That weren't no blessing anyways. I don't even know what he said, to be honest. He just said amen, as far as I'm concerned. But Anika says in the previews, the girl calls Paige and curse her out. I didn't see that preview.
I saw that preview before. It was like, oh, and that B, like the ex was on the phone going in.
For real?
Was like F that B. And I'm like, wow, is this what? So not only is Paige dealing with a baby, now we got to get baby mama drama on top of it? Absolutely not.
Right, absolutely not. My words exactly. Absolutely not.
I told you she need to get rebaptized. Yeah.
Sure. I cannot. Right, that praying was tired. Amen.
He was like,
yeah, so yeah, well, we've been on for an hour and a half now, so yes. I know some of you came on late, but maybe we'll make it a little earlier next time. That's okay. We see you at work, so you got a good excuse. So, any final words that anybody want to say about the show? Any couple, what we're looking forward to seeing?
Y'all want to finish off with some ratings or no?
Yeah, you can.
No.
Sure, let's do it.
I was gonna say we already know who somebody getting.
Yeah, the JasVynce show likes to do ratings on their channel about rate couples from 0 to 10 of these couples, like who, where you think they are now. I always give like a negative 0.1.
There you go. I was like, I know that was wrong already.
We keep track of it all the way throughout the season, so we see. All right, well, this week we didn't have much faith, so I'm always like surprised at the end, but.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna be surprised this season.
Well, ask Devontae and Life of Bosch what they think of. Let's start them off with ratings first. Then we'll look at the chat.
Who y'all got on Clara and Ryan? How would you rate them as a couple currently?
0 to 10.
They like a 6.5.
It's average.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Like the religion thing, and she messy, and he like a robot a little bit. That's about it.
Yeah.
They might work.
I think for me, I would say a 4, because I think they are complete opposite. They're complete opposite. And then also, not just that, but we're not even clear whether Ryan is actually attracted to her. I've never heard he indicate he actually finds her attractive. I don't know. I think all the other men let us know what they think of the women on the show in terms of their women. He's the only one who hasn't actually made it clear, oh, okay, I'm actually attracted to her or not. Everyone just assumes so because what he said he likes blondes.
We haven't seen that, you're right.
But we haven't heard him express that. So I would say about a 4. I think he could easily go through 8 weeks and then turn around and say, yeah, I want a divorce. And heard no idea that's what's going to happen. I can see that happening.
I can see that.
Next couple.
Eric and Virginia.
Look at his face.
What do we give them?
I'm drinking. They had like an 8 and a 9.
There you go. I think we gave them a 7.
I really think they just having sex though.
They seem fun to me on vacation, at least.
When they get home, oh, it's about to be terrible.
Oh, Eric and Virginia are getting horrible scores.
Yeah, I say a 4. There's
wow.
She's probably gonna get arrested for a DUI or something, man.
I don't know.
No, we'll find out.
He's gonna lose his license because he's gonna be getting drunk with her.
Because he can't.
Some of that's gonna happen, man. Like Denzel in Flight. It's gonna be something like that. That's probably what's gonna happen. Yeah, I think
that's why he was so lit in that last clip we showed, because that's probably like that's his time off of work.
Yeah.
So this is probably my time to drink, and I'm not gonna be able to take it for a while.
She's gonna ruin his career. I think.
Oh gosh.
Getting drunk together.
The next couple.
All right, Jacob and Haley next.
Jacob 3.
It seems like she's gonna be cheating in from that preview.
I don't know if she's gonna be cheating.
Maybe she's gonna be talking to other guys or something like that. She's gonna be moving like Brett from last season or something.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be one of those.
Ooh, the scores for them are low.
It's like
okay, to be honest, I think she would try. But I think after a while she's gonna give up, and she's gonna the fall off is gonna be like very, 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 very quick. I think that's what's gonna happen with them.
I think she.
What about you, Devontae? Devontae, what's your score?
2.
Oof.
For Jacob and Haley too.
2.
Wow.
Nobody likes these couples, clearly.
Wow.
Who's next?
Brianna and Vincent's last.
Brianna and Vincent.
I'm gonna give them an 8.
I think they solid.
They're about a 7. They're where they need to be right now.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them sort of have any disagreements. Right now, they're very amicable. He's just agreeing with everything she said. That we need to see real life hit and how they handle it. Can she adjust her bossiness? If not, then it's gonna be. It could be a sticky situation. So I'll say a 7.
One thing about me is I don't give out 10s unless they stay together.
That's smart.
That makes sense.
I think they got some good things going for them. Obviously, her consoling him over the grandmother.
That's big.
That was huge.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, thank God that would ruin the whole honeymoon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just trying to be.
Definitely. Stuff would have been different. Brianna would have been by herself dealing with the whole Paige and Chris
situation. She probably would have went on Chris.
Who knows what would have happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's rough. But thanks.
That's
all the ratings.
That's it.
You do Chris and Paige?
Oh, y'all ain't even.
Yeah, we already know.
Do we even need to?
Yes.
Because
Chris and Paige.
Negative 0, as mom would say.
I said -0.
Chris and Paige always a 0 at this point.
I think they've experienced like every stage of a bad relationship in like 3 days. So
that's very accurate.
Come on. The worst stages too. Like, hey, you got a baby on me already? We just got married.
You give him a 1, Devontae.
In the name of God.
Like I just met you.
Big
bro.
marriage.
Ooh. Hey.
Negative infinity.
Yes.
Goodness.
But you know what? I still kind of think that they are going to make it to the end.
Oh no.
I feel it too, though. I said the same
You
thing.
do?
You mean on the show?
Me the mild vibe. Like I feel like editing this by y'all throwing.
That made me catch a hot flash.
But I gotta have a twist. Right? They gotta give us a twist. Shout out to the producers. They know what they're doing by now.
Right. What?
I said that I'm standing 10 toes down. They're gonna make it all the way through.
Okay.
Oh, how much are we putting on this bet?
I'm not. No, nothing.
I will put like $20 in on that. $20 that they not gonna make it. If they make it, I'll send you $20 via Cash App.
I'll take that. I'll take that for my children in the school. It'll go
all right.
No. Anyways, last one, Ryan and Clara.
Oh, I thought we did them already.
Yeah.
I thought we started with them.
Yeah, we did.
Ryan, Clara, Eric. We did everybody.
Yeah.
They born. Okay. They born.
All right. Well, I guess that was what it was.
They won't even move in together. I think they're gonna move in together.
Really gotta take some cat litter.
Sleep in the same room. That can be different.
We'll see.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna show. Just
please do, John, and please come on. You don't have to show your face. Please do, because then no.
That's hilarious.
I don't. If it does, oh Lord, if it does, that just made me seriously. I got a hot flash on that one. But anyway. Well, everyone, thank you so much for our live. We will be live again shortly, as soon as the probably when they get home.
Yes.
Because that's when the bombshell is going to drop. So we have to come back live to hear everybody's thoughts and things outside the comment. Yes. Because this show, I think it deserves a live, honestly, every week. But that's a lot of work. But you know, so we appreciate your time. Yes. We appreciate the JasVynce show. If you guys don't know, they're up and coming YouTubers. So go ahead and check them out on their page as well. Do the rating system. They do lots of different things on their channel. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to all our subscribers, our new subscribers. Devontae, you know how I feel about you and your comments and everything all the time. Life of Bosch, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Life of Bosch, are you in England now, or are you
Yeah. I'm based in the UK. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
One thing with Devontae, I know you have your podcast out. Did you want to mention that?
Oh, Let It Loose with Devontae? Yes. Yep, I got another one coming out. Probably it's called Hoeing. That's gonna be the next episode.
Okay.
What's the name of it?
Hoeing Time.
Hoeing Time.
Hoeing Time.
Oh wow!
I knew that.
Yeah. Well, when you come out with that, let you bring it on the chat too. Answer your phone, Devontae. We'll see you next time. Bosch, do you have anything, or you just our wonderful subscriber?
Yeah, I'm just a subscriber. So yeah, thanks for having me.
We appreciate that.
I'll join you guys next time for sure. So
thank you so much.
Thanks for adding the combo.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right.
JasVynce show. We'll hit you up on IG in just a second.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace.